끝났어.
Good for you, girl.
이혼해.
That was beautiful. Well said. Well said. Gotta give our good sis a clap on that. It was well said. Hello and welcome back to Actually Let's Talk About It with me, your host Lily, and today I will be reacting to Dr. Cha episode 13 today, and we will see what Dr. Cha is going to do now that she has made her decision to divorce her husband. So we are going to just jump straight into that. I am not going to do a recap. I just do recommend watching the Dr. Cha episode 12 reaction for all the recap for the previous episode, and then you will be able to understand it from there. But before we get into the reaction, we are also going to do a Patreon shout out here, and that Patreon shout out does go to Keisha L. Once again, thank you so much for your support. It really does mean a lot here. And then without further ado, we are going to go straight into the reaction. And before we get into the reaction, just one more interruption here. Do not forget to subscribe if you are watching this on YouTube, because we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and we just crossed the milestone for 250 subscribers. So we are getting closer to that goal. And also don't forget to give this video a good thumbs up, because on YouTube that helps the algorithm, it helps the video reach more people. And then also don't forget to comment if you would like to as well, if you have anything you would like to add regarding your thoughts on the episode or the reaction. And now we will get straight into the reaction to Dr. Cha episode 13. I am excited to see what is going to happen with Dr. Cha and her family now that she has decided to leave her husband, and kind of want to see why the heck he fainted in the first place. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we're going to get into that right away.
이미 끝났어.
Good for you, girl.
이혼해.
That was beautiful. Well said. Well said. Gotta give our good sis a clap on that. It was well said. Oh, goodness. I'm pretty sure there's nothing wrong with him health-wise. He's just shocked, because he don't know what to do without her. But that's a personal problem. This man is being he's so irritating.
어머니.
He's so... Y'all... Not this man pretending to pass out so he doesn't have to face the fact that his wife wants a divorce from his cheating, adultery, having, illegitimate child bearing ass. Okay, you know, I wanted to be calm. I wanted to be peaceful. I thought he would do this gracefully and that he really had something going on with him medically. But no, he's just being a coward. He's just being a coward and a dick and a jerk, and doesn't want his marriage to her to be over. This man is so ridiculous. The actor that plays him, very comedic though, very talented. But his character is so ridiculous and absurd. It's really hard to believe that he has not one, but two women who at one point in time did really love him down. It baffles me. Baffles me. And this man is a whole father. Not a great father, but a whole father to 3 different people. It baffles me. It truly does. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It's just really crazy. But yeah, we're going to get right back into it. But also, please do know, if you ever do go to South Korea, it's not 911, it is 119 for emergency assistance. That's all. That's where he gets his dramatics from. And that's where he gets his attitude from. He got it from his mama. Because at her big age, she shouldn't be the one freaking out the most more than the minor. Her granddaughter, who is 17, isn't freaking out like this. Her grandson, who's in his 20s, isn't freaking out like this. They knew it would happen when they found out that not only did their father have an affair, but he had a whole child that he was keeping a secret from that affair. Literally, the physical embodiment of his adultery is his daughter that is the same age as his other daughter. It is a physical embodiment of that betrayal. It is the physical embodiment of him disrespecting their marriage. That is all the proof that Dr. Cha needs. She doesn't even need to have any type of anything at all to prove anything further. She doesn't need to have anything at all past what she already has regarding the fact that he has this whole child. She doesn't need any proof of him meeting the woman he's having an adulterous relationship with. She don't need none of that. The daughter, that when they take a DNA test, if it should go to court, that is illegitimate, is related to him, is the only proof that the court is going to need to give her whatever she wants in that divorce proceeding, because he disrespected the marriage first. He technically put her health at risk, because in order for you to have an illegitimate child with someone who is not your spouse, you have to be sleeping with them unprotected. This is going all kinds of wrong on his end. And I love that for him. Good. Good. I hope it keeps happening. And his mother acting like this, like she's a tantrumous child, and she's literally in her 60s, 70s, the character, it doesn't make any sense. Your son messed up. You try to hide his mess up for the sake of the quote-unquote family, and you're trying to say divorce at this age. Yeah, divorce at any age is completely and utterly justified when your spouse is cheating and putting your life at risk and being selfish and taking you for granted and having babies with other people on you. Yeah, divorce. Yeah, there's no other option really, because how much more disrespect are you going to take before it comes down to the fact that you don't love you? Because anybody who loves themselves after they found out what Dr. Cha found out cannot possibly stay in a marriage with a person like that, because that person will never change. Like Rihanna said in her song, Take a Bow, don't tell me you're sorry because you're not, because we only know that you're sorry you got caught. Okay? And that might not have been the exact lyric, but she said you're only sorry you got caught. Dr. Shaw's husband is only sorry he got caught. Because if he hadn't, he would have continued to do it until him and Dr. Shaw both passed away. That's the fact of the matter. He would have continued with it. So she can throw all the tantrum tantrums in the room she wants to, but the fact of the matter is, Dr. Shaw deserves to make this decision. And I'm glad that she's making the best decision for her. Because at the end of the day, I don't care about what anybody else got to think about her marriage with her husband, because it doesn't involve them. You're not married to him. That's your son, and he will still be your son after he gets a divorce. So proud of them. So proud of them.
미안해.
It's not your fault.
이런 일이 없었으면 참.
Yeah.
고소 안 하기로 했대.
Oh.
골치 아플 뻔했는데.
And we all know why. Because Dr. Gim was the doctor, aka Dr. Gim, aka Dr. Roy, aka fine ass surgeon. So he was the one who went to the funeral home and had the documents that showed their daughter's actual condition. Because if y'all remember from last episode, when he was operating on her, they found some growths in her body that were not supposed to be there, and that they had warned her about how aggressive the cancer was and how terminal it was. And I guess she didn't think that it would metastasize as much as it did, and it did when they opened it up. And they found out that there was all that growth from the cancer inside of her stomach, and it was spreading throughout her body. And so he most likely showed them that information. And that's why they realized that it was something that, because it had gone untreated, because she didn't want treatment while she was pregnant, and she didn't get treatment after she had the baby. She didn't want to do another surgery. It progressed like it did. So I believe that is why they dropped the lawsuit against Jungmin.
살리는 선생님들이라도 붙잡고 내 딸이 그렇게 된 탓을 하고 싶었나 봐요.
왔어요. 빨리 와요. 나한테.
What? Sir, that just sounds unique. It doesn't sound crazy, but it sounds unique. What are we trying to say here, Dr. Kim? Because it sounded like an invitation to something else, not just for help with her checkup.
네, 아빠의 존재를 알아도 괜찮잖아요. 외면하지 않을 사람이에요.
He will soon be a single man. We're gonna see where his loyalty really lies.
이번 일 로이킴 교수가 도와주지 말고 그냥 좋은 경험했다고 생각해.
힘내.
And the reason why they say it's a learning experience is because of the proof that Dr. Gim had, that it wasn't negligence on the hospital's part. Even if they had done everything that they could have, there was still a high possibility of her passing away. However, and like I said before in other videos to this in reaction to this show, one of the reasons why many people choose not to become practicing doctors is because, like I said before, the liability of that patient lies heavily on you, especially when you are the last doctor/nurse that checked on them, that gave them something. The liability is 100% on you, and the way that they can sue you will be on you and the hospital. And if the hospital chooses to let you go and you don't get access to their legal team, it'll be 100% on you. And it's very serious, and it's very taxing, but you take an oath as a doctor that you do your very best for the patient. But even sometimes doctors' very best is not good enough to treat certain things, depending on how they manifest and how they continue to go in somebody's body. And that is the case here. Regardless if she had stayed overnight or not for observation, or if they had did the CT scan right then and there and had opened her up like Dr. Gim did, it would have most likely been the same outcome. She just would have been pronounced passed away sooner. It wouldn't have been much of a difference in her particular case. And those experiences are experiences that doctors do have to realize very early in their career, that it happens that way. Even when you've done everything, you checked everything, you went by the book, you researched, you did extra things, you called in experts. And sometimes certain diseases, certain cancers, they have a way of manifesting and progressing in certain people's bodies because of their genetics. Everybody's genetics is different, in a way that sometimes you're not able to control, you're not able to combat in enough time, and it can result in the patient dying. And that is something that doctors do have to realize when you go into that medical field, that you sometimes will lose patients, even when you've done everything that you can and you don't get why it happens. There's no real way of understanding that. It's just something that happens. And so them saying this, though, because it's the first patient that he's lost, it's going to take a minute for him to come back from it. And even then, he might not. Because it always stays with you whenever you lose somebody, just in your regular life that you knew, whenever they pass away, that stays with you. And when you're a doctor, it's no different. Every person that you lose, it affects you in some form, shape, or way. So yeah, them being nonchalant about it is probably because they've seen it happen a bunch of times, but still, it might cause young men to want to rethink being a doctor.
좋은 경험입니까?
사실 해외 입양인이 친부모를 찾을 확률은 낮은 편이에요. 1% 정도? 부모가 찾으려고 미리 DNA를 등록하면 금방 찾는데
남자스러운 건 기본이고서.
문제가 없어요. 저희는
Wait until you find out that everybody has testosterone and estrogen in their body. Yep. And I'm like, that's something that you don't find out till you start reading medical journals. But I'm like, for medical school. But yes, I'm like, everybody has it. It's just in men, obviously there's higher testosterone levels. And then in women, obviously there's higher estrogen levels. But both hormones are present in men and women. It's just one gender has more of the other. That's how you kind of can classify between men and women. And I'm like, but then in certain cases, there is women who have certain higher quantities of testosterone in their body. And like, that's coming up when, in regards to some women who run track, some of them are being tested for testosterone. And I believe that is incredibly sexist. And a couple of other things in that, but because they have higher testosterone in their body, they're trying to say that they can't compete in the women's races, which is, like I said, incredibly sexist, and a couple of other is that I'm not going to get into, but it's because of that scientific fact that men have both testosterone and estrogen hormones in their bodies, And women have both testosterone and estrogen hormones in our bodies. It's just that we have significantly higher as women estrogen. And men have, because they're men, have higher testosterone. You know, and I'm like, and everything else just stays low or mid, or not mid, kind of a little bit above low. So yeah, I was like, that was an interesting thing that I found out. Through that journal, I was like, okay, that's cool. Not the "are you up" text in Korean after all he's done. All I really gotta say to Dr. Cha's husband at this point in time is boo, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. For real, for real. Because he is so ridiculous. He is so weird. He is so strange. And I just really want this divorce to come quick and swift and hit him like a freight train. For real. I want him to be very emotionally damaged from it. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'm so sick of his performative actions when you don't care about nobody but yourself.
과장님이 내가 가정의학과로 오는 게 좋겠다고 하시네. 이렇게 교수님 너 마침 잘 왔다. 아니 세상에 너 치료해주신 교수님이 병.
Not Dr. Gim meeting his future mother-in-law. I just can't even. I can't even because like look at that face. He knows what this is. I can't even. Anyway, but not him getting all close with his future mother-in-law. Because he's trying to court her daughter a little bit. Anyway, but like I feel like Dr. Gim is going to either be related to Dr. Cha's husband or Dr. Cha's best friend who said she didn't have any family left. It has to be one of the two because I don't believe him and Dr. Cha are going to be related because that would be ridiculous. Hopefully they won't do that. But it is a K-drama. Anything can happen. Oh no. I knew this older hipster was up to no good with his cute little self. He probably got a whole spouse. And he tried to trick her into making an investment. Oh girl. Oh girl. No. It's not that bad. I've seen worse, but it's kind of badish by South Korean standards. Oh wow. Oh wow. Period, y'all. She about to. Because one thing about righteous older women, they do not play about their kids. And Dr. Cha's mother doesn't play about her. Episode 14 about to be something else. Because I know Dr. Cha's mom gonna have words for that son-in-law, that mother-in-law, and the mistress. Oh goodness, I just know it's gonna be something. So I'm gonna end it here. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. All I'm gonna say is I'm excited for episode 14. Because now we don't see what Dr. Cha is ready to do. She's committed to that divorce. But now that her mom knows the truth, oh y'all, these next 3 episodes gonna be something different. I'm excited. But yeah, that is my reaction to Dr. Cha episode 13. And I can't wait for episode 14. I want to hear what Dr. Cha's mother is going to say to her. I want to hear it for myself. I can't wait. So yeah, that's it for me, y'all. And so if you haven't made it this far in the video and you are watching on YouTube, do not forget to give the video a good thumbs up. And also do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Because like I said before, we are over 250 subscribers on the channel. And we are steadily getting closer to 300. And of course, the overall channel goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. And every day we get very, very, very much closer to that goal. So I am so excited. And yeah, that's pretty much all for me. And if you are watching this on Patreon, once again, thank you so much for being a patron. It really does mean a lot. And I'll continue to bring y'all more fun and exciting content very, very, very soon. And until the next reaction, you guys have a great rest of your day, your afternoon, your evening, your night. And I will see y'all in the next reaction. Bye.